Hello villains, and welcome to the first ever villain video blog. I'm your writer and co-creator Nathan Gonzales, and I'm here to answer all your questions about all things villain. This week I'm going to be answering the question that I get asked the most. How did I come up with the story of villain? Well, once upon a time, long, long ago, at a wonderful place called Comic-Con, my wife and my best friends, Tuvi and Shanda, went to Comic-Con, saw some amazing things, and then went and had dinner to go talk about it. And as we talked about the things that we saw, and the things that we liked, and the things that we couldn't wait to go and buy, we started to come across topics of different characters we saw, different, what people were wearing, what posters were up, that sort of thing. And I started to think, there really weren't a lot of villains. You had your Jokers and, those types, but not a lot of real villains. There weren't any stories about villains. There were stories about heroes beating villains. There weren't any stories about how villains plot and plan and work and strive and kill and maim and do whatever they can to make their plan succeed, because the books were about the heroes stopping that. I wanted to know what would happen when you focus on the villain. What happens when the hero is no longer your main character? When your hero isn't that much of a hero? I wanted to blur the lines between villain and hero. If a man is doing something that he feels is just, and that he feels he was wronged about, is he a bad guy for wanting revenge, for wanting to do what is right? Or is it the guy who dresses up in spandex and stops the mugger, but in his private life maybe beats his wife? Maybe he likes little boys. Maybe a little... I don't know. So what happens when you blur those lines and you have heroes who are flawed and villains who are just? What happens? Well, that's what I made Villain about. I just wanted to know what happens. And since this is a story that is still evolving to this day, the final words have not been written. These characters live and breathe in me. So, I don't know what happens yet. I'm on just as much journey as you are, villains. So, with that being said, send in your questions, and I'll give you a completely vague answer. Till next time, evildoers.